Hey guys, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining this session. This is Jason from Yeastar Training Team, and we're gonna keep going. All right, so today's gonna be our session 4 of our YSCT of the S-Series PBX. So we still have something left on this system. We're just gonna basically figure them out. Now, in today's session, we're going to talk about something, I guess just a couple of things left on our PBX settings, and then we're going to talk about the maintenance, which is very important for the whole system. And then the last one for today's session will be the links. Okay, I guess that's about the time, so let's jump in. Now, first thing we're going to talk about in today's session will be the recording. Have a look. As we know, recording feature, it's a key feature, absolutely, when you try to use a telephony system, anytime or for any system. I mean, pretty much sure, this feature, it helps a lot. Sometimes we want to collect some important information. We absolutely going to use the recording feature. But as you guys can see here, this is going to be the auto recording. So it basically means once you enable this feature, then your system will just take a recording automatically. According to your configuration. That's basically what it is. Now let's just have a look. When we try to configure the auto recording feature, well, as we know, since I mentioned this is going to be the auto recording, so that basically means the system will just handle everything automatically. Now, absolutely, the first thing we're supposed to do here is going to be the storage. As you can see here, even when you try to click on auto recording, you try to configure it first, but the system will just give you this one at the very beginning. So you're supposed to go check on storage locations, make sure you have a very particular storage location, which is available for you to keep your recordings. That's it. Now have a look. Simply when you click on that one, and we're just going to jump into this interface, this particular panel of our storage configurations. So here's the place for you to set the recording. Well, set the storage, not just for the recording, but actually for everything on your system. Let's just have a look. First thing first, we have here is going to be storage locations. Absolutely, we have 4 parts. All right, we got a CDR, voicemail, and one-touch recordings, auto recordings, and logs. One thing which is very special here is, as you guys can see, for CDR, for voicemail, for logs, anyway, we can choose the local flash as the storage location. Not a problem, not a problem, okay? However, for auto recording, you don't have this option. That basically means if you want to enable the auto recording feature, the only choice you have there is by installing a particular storage device. You need to expand the storage, otherwise you can't enable the auto recording feature. That's it, guys. So that's very important. All right, make sure you got something fixed on the system to expand the storage. Otherwise, you can't even use this feature. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Another thing here will be your storage devices. As I mentioned, we have local flash, absolutely. And you can go click on configure here. Just have a little bit check here, see the details. All right. Now for other storage locations, other devices, it just depends on your configuration. Now, for example, I'm using this particular S300. If I want, I can fix the hard disk drive, USB flash disk, or micro SD card. Depends on me, right? So that's basically what it is. And one more thing, guys. If you prefer, you can even add a network drive. This is also supported. Okay, so anytime if you need it, just don't forget to configure this over here. All right. By the way, another thing we have here will be the auto cleanup. All right, auto cleanup, I guess, it's very important for everything, guys. You can set the auto cleanup for your recording, but not just for the recording. You can set the auto cleanup for everything on your system. Anything about the storage, you can just use the auto cleanup to manage it. That's it. So we can set the auto cleanup rule for CDR, for voicemail, for logs, for recording anyway. Depends on us. Now, for example, this is going to be the auto recording auto cleanup. So as you guys can see here, max usage of device is going to be 80% by default configuration. Auto recordings, preservation, duration will be 0. That depends on us, actually. So basically means for now, our system will just follow this particular rule, which is going to be 80% of our, usage of the storage device. That's it. And if the recording is over 80%, then the system will just start the auto cleanup. That's basically what it is. Okay. Now I think we can switch it back to recording settings. Let's get back here. About the recording, I guess there's another thing which is very important. I mean, step 1, we're supposed to get ready with the storage device. Step 2, we're supposed to set the prompt. All right, guys, because this is going to be the auto recording. That means once you enable the auto recording, then no one's going to stop it. All right, this recording feature will just working automatically all the time. What if there's a call, we have some sensitive conversation, we probably don't want to record it. For example, maybe sometimes some conversation between customers, between customer and our agent, we might talk about something about the user's privacy, probably, right? So we just don't want to record it, right? And or maybe we want to record it, but we just want to make it clear. We just want to clarify that. Hey, this call will be recorded. If you're okay, you can stay on the line. If you're not okay, you can just hang up, all right? Because we don't want to have any legal trouble when we have a recording, right? So for that, what we're supposed to do is, you guys can see here, we're supposed to upload the prompt, all right? Just don't forget this, back to the custom prompt, all right? Record something as you wish, but the thing is, you just need to upload it over here, all right? Select it over here just to tell your customer, hey, this call will be recorded, and if you're okay, you can stay on the line. If you're not okay, you can just hang up anytime. All right, so we don't want to have any legal trouble, like I said. We can get a prompt, and we can upload it here. All right, then the next step for us is pretty simple. We can just make our selection. All right, for example, like we can choose the chunk, we can choose the extension, we can choose conference. Depends on us. Which one exactly are we going to take a recording? Okay, so this is about the recording feature, I guess. Now, after that, we can just go click on Save and apply for it to enable this recording feature. Okay, so that's very easy. All right, now let's keep going. The next feature I'm going to talk about in today's session will be this, Event Center. Let's talk about this. Event Center actually is quite simple. The configuration is not a big deal, but Event Center, it helps a lot. All right, so it's kind of like whatever happens on our system, all right, we actually want to be notified. Then how can we enable the notification? Then we're supposed to go click on Event Center. This is the place for us to do it. Now let's just jump in. First thing here is going to be event settings. As you can see here, we have so many events. All right, we just posted them in the list. All right, something about the operation, something about telephony, something about system. Anyway, you can just have a quick look there. Now, for example, like CPU overload. That's a big deal, right? So here, you can choose to enable some switch. We have record button, we have notification button, 2 switches, depends on you. So if you enable record, that means anytime if that issue happens, well, our system will just record this particular issue in the event log. So anytime you can just jump into your system, go check on event log, and right over here it just tells you exactly what was happening, all the details. All right. So for example, you can see here, 2022 May 24, 9 o'clock in the morning. Type is going to be telephony, and event name is going to be pure chunk registration failed. That's it. So all the details you can just figure out over here. All right. So this is about the record button. Another button is going to be the notification, another switch. I'm sorry. So if you enable this, if you just turn it on, turn this thing on, then the notification contacts will get notified. All right. So how can we notify a notification contact? Let's have a look. You can simply add a new notification contact here. So this notification contact could be one of your extensions. All right. And as for how are we going to notify this guy, it's quite flexible. We can choose to notify him by sending email, by sending message, by calling extension, by calling mobile. That's it. So if you try to notify this guy by sending email or by calling mobile, anyway, just don't forget to configure this, all right, which is going to be the mail address. And mobile number in advance for this particular agent. All right, that's very important. Otherwise, this agent, he won't be able to get this sort of notification. All right, so this is gonna be the way how we're gonna notify a internal user. All right, and you can also choose to notify someone out of the system, which is gonna be a custom contact. That's also supported. So you can simply need to drop some detailed information for this one, like a contact name, notification method. We can choose sending email or sending short messages. That's it. And by the way, like I said, if we want to send email or short messages, we just need to set the email address and mobile number. Okay, so this is about the notification contacts. And also, by the way, get back to the advanced settings here. You can also go click on Edit Notification. Here's the template. So this is exactly how does it look like if this issue happens, and then the system tries to notify us by sending email or short messages. It looks like this. All right, so it's just a template. Usually we don't need to change anything about that template. We can just keep it this way, not a problem. Okay, so that was all about the basic settings on the S-Series system. Now let's just keep going. All right, next one I'm gonna talk about here. Oh, by the way, guys, there's CDR and recording, of course. So if you try to get the CDR or you want to know, hey, exactly where did I keep my recording? How can I check my recording? Anyway, you can simply go find it on the desktop. All right, so this desktop, you can just find it, CDR and recording. Go check on it, and all the details, you can just figure it out over here. For example, if you want to check the history, let me try to figure this out. Okay. So absolutely you can use this one, the time duration here. You can just enter a particular duration, all right? And you can also enter something else, some other detailed information like a call from a particular destination, call to a particular destination anyway, call duration. So anyway, the system will just follow your condition there, all right, your pre-condition there, and then it will just help you to get the feedback, all right? So you want to check the recording, you can get it over here. You want to get the CDR, you can also get it over here. For example, this is going to be the first one. 2022 April 2nd, 9 o'clock, 9:30 actually in the morning. So you can see here, call from extension 1000. All right, call to extension 1005. Duration is going to be 6 seconds. Talk duration will be 6 seconds. Anyway, status will be voicemail. So here we can choose to have some sort of configuration, absolutely. Some sort of operation, I'm sorry. But absolutely, for now, this is not going to be available for me to play it because pretty much sure this is invalid. All right, this is just invalid for me. If this is going to be a valid lock, one of your valid locks, anyway, you can choose to download it. You can choose to play it. You can also choose to delete it. Okay. So this is about the CDR and recordings. Okay, quite easy. All right. Now let's just keep going. Next one. Next one is going to be our maintenance on the S-Series system. Let's just take a look. First thing first is going to be upgrade. So for system upgrade, anytime you want to get the new firmware, you can just go access the maintenance here, and you're going to be able to get the update here. All right. Now, for example, currently I just have this new update, right? So because my configuration is here, check for updates and let me choose whether to upgrade. So the system just automatically detect the new version of the update, and then it will just give me this notification. I can choose to update it now or maybe later. All right. Or I can also choose to enable never check for updates or check for updates and automatically install. That's also supported, not a problem. However, sometimes if you don't have the internet access for your PBX, all right, for your S-Series PBX, so you still want to upgrade your system, but you want to do it by yourself, that's okay. You can choose to enable manual upgrade. This is fully supported. The only thing you're supposed to do is, I'm pretty sure you guys can access our website, www.yeastar.com, and there's a document center, and you can get the new update there. So you can actually upload the firmware by yourself. Sometimes we just need to upgrade the system, or maybe sometimes we just want our system get a very particular firmware manually. That's it. That's okay. That's fine. You can get it from our website. Okay. All right, and then I guess that's it. That's all for the upgrade. Now, number 2, backup restore. Backup restore here is quite important. I guess this is so important for maintenance. Anytime if there's something wrong happens on our telephony system, on our S-Series PBX, seriously, if you don't have a backup, you got nothing to do. You have to configure everything from the very beginning. However, if you have a backup, and especially you can just restore the system. I mean, whatever happens in the future, you don't need to worry about that. Anytime anything wrong happens on the system, if you can solve it, you can just solve it directly. If there's something wrong, you can't solve it. I guess the easiest way for your troubleshooting is gonna be, using backup. All right, so we can simply just restore the system. All right, so let's just take a look. If we try to make a backup, see exactly what can we make a backup. All right. First thing first, when you click on backup, you're going to have this pop-up. You're supposed to name this file. You're supposed to drop something for a memo, but it depends on you. If you're so clear about this, you don't need to, write anything additionally. Not necessary. And then we're going to have location type here. You can choose to store the backup on the local flash. So far, right? So far, I only have one storage location, which is going to be local flash. And then make our selection here. The backup file will include system settings, custom prompts, or call logs. Depends on us, right? So we can absolutely use the default one, then click on save. The system will just make a backup automatically for our system right now. All right. It will just take a couple of seconds because pretty much sure the system will just try to make a backup for the entire system. But anyway, once we get this backup, the new backup file will just be posted in the list. All right. And later on, the next step is going to be restore. So, but usually we don't use restore, right? We don't use it a lot. Once again, it's like depends on the system working status. If there's something wrong happens and you don't even know what's going on there, and you can probably use the restore just to restore your system, make your maintenance, make your troubleshooting easier. Okay. All right, guys, I guess I just take a longer time, right? So let me just refresh this. Okay. All right, so I'm going to keep going. All right. Now, keep going with the backup. Another thing we have here will be, let's keep going. Well, you guys can see this. This is something I created before, right? May 24. All right, that's exactly the thing I created previously. Another thing here will be the backup schedule. So sometimes you want your system to make a backup automatically. I mean, that's a good habit. That's quite professional for maintenance, right? So you can absolutely set a schedule here, and the system will just automatically make a backup according to your configuration here. All right, so this is about the backup and restore. As for how can we restore the system, well, take a look. You can see here we have restore at this particular button. You go click on that one. The system will just take a restore. All right, it will just restore this particular backup for the system. All right. Of course, we can also choose to click on upload here if we have some backup stored on our computer. That's fine. We can also upload it on the PBX. Okay, so this is about the backup and restore. Now let's keep going with another one, which is reboot. Reboot, guys, again, this is another easiest way for your troubleshooting, I guess. Whatever happens on the system, as we know, this is kind of like a universal rule for any type of network device. If you can't fix it, if you don't know what's going on there, but you're pretty sure this is not a big problem, well, the easiest way for your troubleshooting will be reboot the system. All right, just go click on this button, reboot the system. Probably the problem will be solved. All right, and your configurations, whatever it is, it will take effect. All right. Absolutely, we can also enable auto reboot. So the system will just automatically reboot it automatically according to your configuration. All right. And number 4, reset. I want you guys to be very careful with the reset. All right. Even you guys can see here, we got a notification to tell you if all the following reset options are selected, the PBX will erase all data, configuration settings, and reset the system to factory defaults. All right, so be very careful, all right? Here's the suggestion if you truly want to reset your system. Make a backup, all right. Make a backup and keep your backup safe. Then you just restore the system, all right. So it's like whatever happens, but I still get a backup. I can restore the system. That's it. So the reset here, like I said, if you just enable it for all of your, all these items, then the entire system will be back to factory mode. All right. And also, by the way, talking about reset, there's another way for you to reset the system. This is sort of like the system operation for reset. Another way for you to reset the system is like a physical operation. The physical operation is, I'm pretty sure you guys can see your PBX, especially when you just turn around, see the background. The backside panel, okay, on the PBX, there's a backside panel, and there's a particular button, a very tiny button, and that's the reset button. So you can just, press that button to enable the reset. All right. Then another thing we have here will be system lock. System lock will be updated daily. All right, this is like a daily update. Every single day, whatever happens on the system, it will just be captured over here. Usually we don't use this. All right, end users and even for us, we don't use this a lot. This one, it will be very helpful, especially for some serious problem. Something wrong happens on the system and we don't even know what's going on, then we need a troubleshooting. We probably need a professional's troubleshooting. So those technicians, they're actually going to check on this, check on the system lock, so they can figure out exactly what was happening on our PBX. Okay, so this is about the system lock. Now let's just keep going with another one. Another one we have here will be operation lock. Now operation lock, this is more like a funny story. Is operation lock, it's kind of like a black box. All right, it sounds funny, but that's it. So operation log basically just records whatever happens on the system. Like when you try to use your PBX, you got some sort of operation, right? And they're all going to be recorded on the system. Now that's the operation log. Quite simple. For example, you guys can see here, May 24, 9/19, user is super administrator. The IP address is going to be this because I'm using the local network, local area network. This is local access. And the operation here, you can see backup and restore. And I just use backup. I just make a backup. All right. So all the details will be recorded here. All right. And the last one will be troubleshooting. Let's take a look. Now on the S-Series PBX, we also provide our customers a very easy, very simplified troubleshooting solution. We give them 4 troubleshooting tools. Number 1 is going to be Ethernet capture tool. Number 2, port monitor tool. And number 3, IP pin. Number 4, trace route. So what's the difference? Let's just talk about them one by one. Now, Ethernet capture tool, once we enable this one, it can help us to capture the data packets. And it's not very popular, but it depends. Sometimes, like if you have something wrong happens on your SIP, all right, you have something wrong happens with your SIP terminals or your SIP trunk for making calls. Let's see, the most common issues, for example, like a 30 seconds hang up, that sort of issue, or maybe no audio issue, right? Sometimes it happens on our SIP, SIP communication, right? It might be something wrong happens on the terminal side, which is going to be IP phone side. It might be something wrong happens on our PBX side. It might be something wrong happens on our SIP chunk side. Who knows, right? But what we can do here is we can actually use Ethernet capture tool to capture the data packet. This function is quite simple. What you're supposed to do is select the interface. All right, you can choose both. You can choose LAN port. You can choose WAN port. Depends on your configuration. All right. So if your system is under single mode, pretty sure you're going to use LAN port directly. Then you just go click on Start. Step 1, click on Start. Step 2, make a call. Then you just wait till the problem happens again. Then you click on Stop. That's the way how we capture the packet. All right. And then we're going to use the third-party application to analyze this packet. So all the details can be figured out by using the third-party application. Now, The most popular application we're going to use there is going to be Wireshark. So you can drag this packet to the Wireshark, then the Wireshark will just give you a feedback. Then you can figure out what was happening on that data transmission. Okay. Number 2 is going to be port monitor. Port monitor tool, it's actually for analog. All right. This is for analog channel. All right. Have a look. So what you can do there is you're supposed to select a couple of ports. All right. Make your selection here. All right. As we know, those ports are interfaces or analog interfaces. So we can select one of them. And the thing here is, if you have something wrong with that particular port, right, how can you figure this out? We can actually use port monitor tool. All right, again, you select this particular port, then you just make a call, like I said. Then click on start. Till the problem happens again, then you can click on stop. So we're going to capture this particular audio. And then, again, we're going to use the third-party application. Now, for example, you can use Adobe Audition, which is very professional for helping us to figure out the audio transmission, right? So you can use that application. It just gives you a very detailed feedback. You will be able to figure out something like a frequency, something like a signal. Anyway, everything you can figure out by using that application. All right, so this is the port monitor tool. Number 3 is IP pin. IP pin, so easy to figure out, right? We're just going to pin the connection. So hosted there is going to be the destination. Click on start, then we're just going to send packets out from the PBX to that particular destination. After that, you can just see the connection, see this working status, and then you will be able to figure out the connection. Is that normal or is that abnormal? And the last one will be trace route. Comparing with IP pin, trace route will be a little bit different. Something similar is IP pin and trace route. They both are going to work on this. All right, so they both are like we're going to send packets out from the PBX, which is point A, to the destination, which is point B, right? But the difference is IP pin will just show you the final result, tell you how about the point B, the destination's feedback. How about the connection? However, trace route will show you the entire process. It's kind of like it will just tell you the connectivity, not just the status of the connection. It will tell you the entire process of your data transmission. Like from point A to point B, exactly where did you send your packets out? How many hosts do you have there? Anyway, all the details will be posted there if you use trace route. Okay. So that was all for the maintenance. Quite easy, right? Okay, now let's keep going. One more thing for today's session, guys, will be our links. Let's give it a check here. Okay, now first thing first, as you can see here, when you try to use links on your S-Series PBX, step 1, absolutely, you're going to get yourself be prepared. Means you're going to go jump into the Google Play App Store. Get this application on your mobile, which is called Linkus. All right. Linkus application, it's available for your mobile, for your computer. You also have the PC client. You can also get it from our website. All right. So it can help you to work remotely. It's a very good solution. Now, as for remote working, all right, we actually just need to figure out this remote connection because it's quite special, right? So we're going to use Linkus configuration on the PBX. Let's have a look. Now, first thing first, to jump into your PBX, and you can see here we have Linkus Cloud Service Pro. This is actually our recommendation. Use the LCS Pro. All right, the best choice. So how do we enable this? Quite easy, guys. Jumping to your PBX, enable Linkus Server. This is step 1. All right, absolutely you need to enable Linkus Server. Who's the Linkus Server? Actually, it's going to be the PBX, right? So you just need to enable the Linkus Server. And then here, enable Linkus Cloud Service Pro. All right, enable this. All right, enable this, by the way, then you can see here we have 2 more options. Enable chat function for Linkus. That's instant message on your Linkus. Enable remote SIP service. That's actually the FQDN. All right, we provide you guys this encrypted private tunnel with the FQDN. So it basically means, first of all, once you enable Linkus Cloud Service Pro, you can use Linkus directly for this remote registration without any problem, without any additional network settings. You don't need to make port forwarding. You don't need to get public IP address. You don't need to set DDNS. You don't need to set NAT on your PBX. You can use it directly. This is the first thing. And the second thing here is going to be this remote SIP service. So we also provide you guys this FQDN. So you can also take this FQDN for something else, like a SIP phone registration. Let me just tell you guys like this. In other words, you can also take this FQDN for your IP phone registration. Your remote IP phone registration, you can use it directly. And your branch office solution, like create a SIP trunk with another PBX or with another gateway. You can also use this FQDN, this particular one. And you can even use this FQDN for for multiple offices interconnections. Now, as we know on the S-Series PBX, we have a feature which is called multi-site interconnect. So you can also use this FQDN for multi-site interconnect. And next time, your headquarter PBX can take this FQDN for multi-site interconnect directly without any additional network settings. Okay, now keep going. Another thing we have here will be this. SIP access. All right, you can also go click on operation here, set the user permission. All right, because like I said, we can use that FQDN for something like phone registration, right? For example, then here you can set the access control. All right, for example, like some particular extension, I don't want to give you the user permission to use the FQDN for remote phone registration. Probably this phone can be deployed under the local area network only. Anyway, you can just set the access control right over here. Now, for example, here, restricted account. If I select this one, extension to 1000 and 1001. So these two extensions, they are not going to be able to use the FQDN for remote registration because I just rejected it. All right. Okay, so this is about the LCS Pro configuration. Next one. Linux client settings. Now, don't forget this, all right? So, like I said, your preparation work will be you need to get the application ready. You need to enable the server ready, right? And then step 3, set the Linux client, all right? So you guys can see I create a bunch of extensions on this PBX. However, if we truly want to make use of any of them, all right, if we truly want to enable the Linux for them, just don't forget to click on this, all right, enable Linux client. That means this extension user can't use the Linux, otherwise he cannot. Even you get the application, but you can't. You still don't have the user permission to use it. All right. And also, by the way, here we also provide an email template. This is going to be the activation mail for individual users. So it's like if I enable the Linux, I actually need to notify this particular agent. Hey, I just help you to activate the Linux. You can log in, and you need the login information, right? So this is going to be the activation mail template. All right. Individual users, by the way, they get this email. They can just use the QR code. You guys can see there we provide a QR code. So they can use the QR code to log in to the Linux mobile client. They simply just scan the QR code. And for the PC client, they can use the login link. Very easy, very simple. Okay. Another thing here will be this. You can also send email. Take a look. You can also choose to enable send email. So make your selection. For example, I select these two extensions. Then I just choose send email. So our system will just send this activation mail to these two, extension users. So they're going to be able to get this activation mail by their mailbox. Okay. So this is exactly how do we use this Linux cloud service, all right, LCS Pro. Okay. All right, guys, so I guess that was all we have for this session. Hopefully everything's clear, and if you guys have any questions, you can simply check on our website, www.yeastar.com. And of course, need more details about Yeastar Solutions, you can also visit our YouTube channel. Simply search Yeastar on YouTube and subscribe our channel. Pretty much sure you can get the answer. All right, we have lots of video tutorials available on the YouTube channel. All right, so That was all for this one. Have a nice day.